Picture this, your mouth is basically a parking lot with 28 cars nicely lined up. Then suddenly, evolution decides to add 4 monster trucks that don't fit anywhere. Enter wisdom teeth. These late arriving dental gremlins were super useful when our ancestors were chewing raw mammoth meat and gnawing on roots like prehistoric rabbits. But now, they're just like that one cousin who shows up uninvited, eats all the snacks, and leaves chaos behind. Your jaw today is smaller because we cook our food, slice it with knives, and don't need a spare set of molars. But evolution didn't get the memo, so you get teeth that grow sideways, jam themselves into your gums, and occasionally start wars with your other teeth. It's basically dental Hunger Games, with your mouth as the arena. Dentists will yank them out, but think about that for a second. A modern human's evolved survival strategy includes voluntarily getting stabbed in the mouth by tools while paying thousands of dollars for the privilege. Humanity's peak adaptation is braces and Novocaine. Nice job, natural selection. Basically, wisdom teeth are like evolution's junk drawer, stuff that might have been useful once but now just takes up space and causes you pain. You're lying in bed, cozy, relaxed, when suddenly you can't move. Your eyes are wide open, you're awake, but your body is locked like a bad video game character clipping into the floor. And then, as if that's not terrifying enough, your brain decides to project the demon DLC in the corner of the room. Congratulations, you've unlocked sleep paralysis. Scientifically speaking, your body paralyzes itself during REM sleep to stop you from acting out dreams, so you don't karate kick your partner while imagining you're in a ninja movie. That part is actually smart, but sometimes the system glitches and you wake up before your body flips the unlock muscles switch. Your brain, confused, fills the silence with hallucinations, a shadowy figure, a monster on your chest, or grandma's rocking chair moving by itself even though grandma's been dead for 10 years. The wildest part? This happens to millions of people across all cultures, and they almost always describe the same thing: dark figures watching them. It's so consistent that folklore worldwide has its own version: the old hag in Newfoundland, the kanashibari in Japan, or just nope in America. So yeah, your brain has evolved into the ultimate prankster. It paralyzes you, then hires a demon to stand at your bedside just for laughs. Thanks, evolution. Ever noticed how your skin sometimes freaks out with goosebumps? When you're cold, when music slaps way too hard, or when you watch a horror movie alone at night? That's your body flexing an ancient muscle trick, except it doesn't actually do anything anymore. Back when humans were hairy little cave gremlins, goosebumps made your fur stand on end, making you look bigger to predators. Think porcupine light. If a saber-toothed cat saw you puffed up like a discount Pokemon, maybe it hesitated before eating you. But now, you're basically a naked mole rat with no fur to puff up. Your intimidating defense system is just some tiny bumps that make you look like a plucked chicken. And when you're emotional, your brain hits the same button. That's why you get goosebumps at a concert or when a movie character delivers a dramatic monologue. Your nervous system is like, oh no, feelings detected. Quick, engage our totally obsolete puff-up feature, which is adorable, if a little pathetic. So next time you get goosebumps, remember, it's your body cosplaying as an animal you stopped being about 200,000 years ago. Basically, your skin is living in the past, and it's not a flattering look. Humans are basically the only animal stupid enough to design their own throat like a 2-lane highway with no dividers. On one side, you've got air for breathing. On the other, food for not dying. And the lanes merge right at your throat, like the worst traffic engineering project of all time. No wonder people randomly choke on peanuts at parties. Evolution could have fixed this. Giraffes have insanely long necks, birds have separate airway systems, even dolphins manage to keep their breathing hole on top of their head like a snorkel. Meanwhile, you've got a choose-your-own-adventure flap in your throat called the epiglottis, and if it forgets its job for half a second, bam, suddenly you're fighting spaghetti like it's your mortal enemy. The weird thing is, this exact design flaw is also what lets us speak complex languages. Our larynx is positioned low enough to give us that full range of sound. Yay, Shakespeare! Boo, choking hazards! So basically, every time you eat popcorn, you're gambling between enjoying a snack and starring in your own Heimlich maneuver tutorial video. Your throat is a miracle of communication but a disaster of plumbing. Evolution gave you poetry, but at the cost of being defeated by a hot dog. Here's a fun fact. Your eyes straight up lie to you. You have a big fat blind spot where the optic nerve connects to your retina, meaning there's a chunk of reality you literally cannot see. But does your brain politely admit this? Nope. It just Photoshop heals the gap and pretends everything's fine. Do this little test sometime. Cover one eye, stare at a dot on paper, and move your head around. At one magical angle, another dot will just vanish. Poof, like your eye rage quit reality, but you don't notice in daily life because your brain frantically fills in the missing piece with probably wool or, yeah, that's definitely a chair. It's the equivalent of autocorrect for your eyeballs, and it's just as unreliable. What's even funnier is how other animals don't have this problem. Some squids, for example, have retinas wired the correct way without blind spots. Evolution just gave them high-def vision, while humans are running on early beta tester edition's eyes. So, you're walking around with literal holes in your perception, trusting your brain's improv skills. Basically, you're living inside a badly edited video game, and your brain is the unpaid intern patching bugs. You know what's not optimized for walking on two legs? Your spine. That's right. Your entire back is basically an unpaid intern trying to carry the weight of a full-time job. Originally, our ancestors' spines were designed for walking on all fours. Then one day, evolution decided, hey, what if we stood up all the time? What could possibly go wrong? Spoiler, everything. When you stand upright, your lower spine curves inward, your upper spine curves outward, and over time those curves become the reason chiropractors can afford beach houses. Add in the fact that humans live way longer than we used to, and you've got millions of people hobbling around with sciatica, slipped discs, and lower back pain so bad it makes sitting in a chair feel like medieval torture. And it's not just standing, sitting is even worse. We invented office jobs and couches, then sat in them like evolution's cruelest prank. Your spine wasn't built for slouching in front of Netflix for 6 hours. Every time you lean forward at your computer, you're basically speedrunning spinal degeneration. So yeah, the human back is one giant under construction sign. It's the architectural equivalent of balancing a Jenga tower on a seesaw, and we wonder why Advil sells so well. Let's talk about that weird little organ hanging out in your gut, the appendix. It's about the size of your pinky finger, does almost nothing, and yet has the audacity to explode inside people for no reason. Very fun, very casual. Back in the caveman buffet days, the appendix probably helped digest raw plants and bark, but now, modern humans mostly eat cooked, soft, non-tree-based meals, so your appendix just sits there like the coworker who shows up to every Zoom meeting but never unmutes. And if it decides to act up, congratulations. You're in the ER playing, guess which organ is trying to kill me. Doctors will tell you it might still help with gut bacteria, like a little safe house for microbes. That sounds noble, but let's be real. Most of the time it's just an organ-shaped landmine waiting to go off. Appendicitis is one of the most common emergencies worldwide, and the treatment is, slicing it out and tossing it in the medical trash like expired yogurt. So, the appendix is evolution's version of a mystery box loot drop, sometimes helpful, usually useless, occasionally lethal. Basically, you're walking around with a biological time bomb that contributes nothing except drama. You're late for a meeting, running to catch the bus, and suddenly, your body decides to produce enough sweat to fill a kiddie pool. Humans are sweat machines, which sounds efficient until you realize how hilariously unglamorous it is. Sweating was supposed to be genius. Most mammals pant to cool down, but you're built with millions of little water sprinklers covering your skin. It lets you run long distances without overheating, which is why our ancestors could chase prey until it keeled over from exhaustion. Great system for ancient hunters, less great when you're just walking upstairs and arrive looking like you wrestled a sprinkler. And then there's nervous sweating. You're not even hot, but suddenly your palms turn into slip and slides because you saw your crush across the room. This is your sympathetic nervous system hitting the panic button for no reason. Like, thanks buddy, I really wanted to shake hands while feeling like a raw chicken breast. Oh, and let's not forget that sweat itself doesn't smell, it's the bacteria partying in it that makes the stench. So really, you're just a mobile nightclub for microbes, and they're loving it. In short, sweating is nature's air conditioning, but it's also the least dignified feature humans got. Evolution gave us brain power, fire, and iPhones, but cooling off? Nope. Just drip like a leaky faucet, champ. Imagine losing a limb, but your brain refuses to update the patch notes. You can feel your missing arm itching, burning, or curling into a fist, even though it's not physically there. Welcome to phantom limb syndrome, the weirdest glitch in the human operating system. Here's what's happening. Your brain has a little map of your body called the homunculus. When a limb goes missing, the map doesn't instantly delete it, so your nervous system sends signals to a body part that no longer exists, and your brain interprets that as pain. It's like trying to text a friend who deleted their number, but instead of an error message, your phone sets itself on fire. Even weirder, sometimes touching another body part can trigger sensations in the missing limb. People have reported scratching their face and suddenly feeling their phantom hand itch. Basically, your nervous system is rerouting wires like a drunk electrician. Treatment methods include mirror therapy, literally tricking your brain by putting a mirror next to your remaining limb so it thinks the missing one is back. Yes, the solution to excruciating phantom pain is gaslight your own brain with shiny glass. It's a reminder that your body isn't really under your control. Your brain's just guessing half the time, and sometimes those guesses are horrifyingly wrong. You'd think evolution's crown jewel, the human brain, would be flawless. Spoiler, it's not. For one, it's ridiculously energy hungry. This 3-pound blob of fat and electricity eats up about 20% of your body's calories just to sit there thinking about what you should have said in that argument 3 years ago. Efficiency? Never heard of it. And here's the kicker, your brain is terrible at multitasking. It glitches constantly. Ever walk into a room and instantly forget why you're there? That's called the doorway effect. And it happens because your brain is basically a goldfish trying to refresh the page every time you change locations. Then there's the overheating problem. During intense thinking or stress, your brain literally gets hotter, like your thoughts are cooking your head. That's why mental exhaustion feels physical. Your meat computer is literally burning through fuel so fast it overheats like a bad gaming laptop, except you can't buy a cooling fan for your skull. And while we're at it, let's talk about headaches, migraines, and all the random neurological malfunctions that turn your day into a survival quest. Half the time, doctors don't even fully know why they happen. The smartest organ in the animal kingdom can design spaceships and quantum computers, but it also malfunctions when you forget to drink enough water. So yeah, evolution gave you the most advanced brain on Earth, capable of abstract art, love, and TikTok dances, but it runs like buggy software on overheating hardware. Humanity, powered by genius, plagued by Windows 95 energy.